Live shopping isn't just a trend, it's the retail revolution, and Spree is leading the way. We're here to show businesses the magic of using video and social media to skyrocket sales and expand their audience. At Spree, we're all about making your sales savvy and your connections rock solid. So let's dive in and make your retail dreams come true.
Hello everybody and welcome to this webinar. My name is Jens Wynn, a live shopping specialist here at Spree, and today's chat is dedicated to you beautyholics out there. And who better to talk about health and beauty than me and my trusty co-host here, Corey Morris, the CMO at Spree.
Hey guys, happy to be here. Always a pleasure to be here with you, Jens, in the Spree studio, and I've put on my nice little pink polo shirt today to talk about beauty with you fine people.
Yeah, it looks real on point. So I'm glad you got the memo.
I have done my best.
So I don't think there's anything other to do than jump right into it, because we're talking about beauty and live shopping, and we're joined by some very cool spokespeople in the industry who have come to share some of their stories with us.
Yes, I mean, it's about to get real. Right?
It's about
to get real because we do have some really cool customer stories that we want to share with you guys today. And this is a new thing that we're bringing into these webinars. So we've gone out, we've talked to some really cool people. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up really soon. But before then, let's dig into some other good stuff.
Yeah, I'm super excited to talk about beauty because I happen to be a bit of a skincare enthusiast myself.
Oh, really?
So I think this topic will be really interesting to talk about, just because. Yeah, it's something
I kind of expected that.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I kind of expected that. Yeah.
I guess it doesn't surprise people, but
no.
But you gotta really, put effort into yourself. I use something called Korean skincare, and it gives me something called glass skin.
I would love to know about your Korean skincare beauty secrets.
If you know, you know. But let's just present the agenda for the people watching today. So, as mentioned, we're exploring beauty and live shopping. But first, we're gonna take a bit of a broad look at the industry as a whole.
Let's get up in the helicopter.
Yeah, and then afterwards we can go more granular with some of these really exciting customer stories that we've got for you guys. So,
how many stories do we have with us today?
We have two.
Two, yeah. Killer live shopping stories.
We do.
Yes, I'm really excited to get into those cases a little bit later. And let's also bear in mind that the examples that we're going to unpack for you guys today, these guys are really pioneering this space. So their already strong results are just an indication of what we're seeing as the massive growth potential for the market. Because as we frequently talk about here at Spree, the live shopping industry is projected to reach $700 billion by 2028. So that's really something to be excited about.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. And on that note, I also want to remind the audience that you're always welcome to drop questions in the comments throughout this chat. Now, let's unpack this beast of an industry for the audience, Corey, because health and beauty, it's absolutely massive in e-commerce, and it's one of the fastest growing sectors when we see online transactions. So I think for us here at Spree, it's definitely also proven to be one of the top performers, I would say. Many of these beauty brands.
Alongside fashion, electronics, and a few others. It's one of the top performers.
Yeah.
But before we get down to the so-called brass tacks, I actually want to test how much of a beauty nerd you really are.
Oh, really?
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
Because it's really easy to talk the talk, but can you also walk the walk?
I hope so.
Yep.
I hope I can.
I know you love a challenge.
I do.
So I've prepared a little rapid fire quiz for you, Jens, just to kind of get us all started. So here are the rules. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and hopefully you can answer them within 5 seconds. I'll do a little 5-second countdown.
Okay.
And if you do, which I don't think you will, you can officially earn the right to call yourself the Spree Beauty Police.
Okay.
So how does that sound?
Like I said, man, hit me with your best
And these
shot.
are
Let's
all
go.
beauty related, and you can see if you can dip into that that Korean beauty knowledge that you have. Okay, you ready for the first question?
Born ready.
Okay,
Let's go.
they're on my screen here, so you can't see them. Okay.
All right.
Question number 1.
Yes.
What is the main ingredient in most anti-aging creams that actually works?
Retinol. I already answered it, right? Retinol.
Are there more?
That's the only one I know.
Okay, the answer was actually retinol
Yeah.
or hyaluronic acid.
Okay.
So if you would have got both, you would have got bonus points, but high five or knuckles. That
Cheers.
was great.
Okay,
Retinol.
not bad, not bad.
It's crazy because you probably don't even need anti-aging creams
I
right
use
now.
it religiously.
Okay. Don't overdo it though, because you're not old yet like me. But okay, so awesome, cool. For one for one, that's pretty impressive. I didn't think you'd get that. Okay, this one's kind of hard, so I'll give you a ballpark. So, how many hair strands does the average person lose per day? Now, there's a big range here, so I'll give you some leeway. And don't think about me and my aging and hair loss, because that's a bit extreme.
The average person.
Yeah, average person. How many
say-
strands of hair do they lose every day?
I think 500.
That's actually wrong. It's around 550 to 100. Yeah,
Okay, maybe I was going a bit overboard
that
with
was
that.
good though.
Never mind.
No, you were thinking about me.
Yeah.
What you guys don't see here is none of your concern. Okay, so you're 1 for 2, not bad. Okay, all right. One more.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready.
What's the difference? You're probably gonna get this. What's the difference between a serum and a moisturizer?
Oh, serum is something you apply to address specific skin concerns, and a moisturizer is it's what's called you seal in moisture. That's all I know.
I'm gonna actually give you that because the answer is a serum has active ingredients that penetrate deeper, but you answered the second part correctly. A moisturizer locks in hydration on the surface.
There you go.
You want one more?
No, that's okay. I think
do have
I've
one more.
established my credibility.
I do have one more. What's the one skincare product you should never share with someone else?
Makeup?
Mascara. Because it can lead to eye infections.
Oh, shit. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, you
did
can't
well.
borrow my mascara
No,
anymore.
we'll
You
not.
have to stop that.
We share powders here, but we will not share mascaras. I think you have earned the ability to call yourself the beauty.
There we
queen.
go.
Congrats. That was
All right.
pretty awesome.
Okay, that was fun.
That was
man.
good. That was good.
That was fun. And now that I've qualified myself to speak on this serious matter, I think it's time for us to unpack the health and beauty industry a bit for the audience.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So speaking of this growing segment of customers who are shopping for beauty products online in e-commerce, what would you say are the main drivers of this growth we're seeing?
It's a great question. So I think we first have to take what I would call like an overarching look at how health and beauty customers kind of really shop online. I think I would really start there. So the trend is undoubtedly, because of the day that we live in right now, the time we live in, socially driven, right? And what I mean by that is the huge impact that things like word of mouth, virality, social proof, and my daughter can tell you about this, beauty influencers, how they have on setting beauty trends. So in me, from a marketing perspective, and I think this is kind of cool, it's an industry that's deeply impacted by public perception and product endorsements, which is also kind of really driven by influencers.
Right. Okay. So considering all of that, how does this inform sort of beauty sales for e-commerce and live shopping?
Yeah, so to be honest, I think that's where the social side of live shopping really comes to fruition, really shows its strength. Yeah, absolutely. So we recently shared a McKinsey report. We talk about this quite a lot, but it's a McKinsey report on live shopping. We talked about it in our last webinar. And here we were able to see that the health and beauty the industry, it consistently ranks among the most popular products being sold through live shopping, and that goes both for Europeans and the US, where the report talked about how 30% of all shoppers reported that they had bought cosmetics via live shopping.
So what you're saying is people are really vain, huh?
I think people are just kind of like you. They're focused on their looks. But no, it's good, though. I mean, you could say that. But I think what's more likely is that beauty products just sell really, really well because of all the social amplifiers that are kind of baked into live shopping.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. But really, I do think you're right about that part. Yep. I mean, let's just break it down for a second, because with live shopping, at least where Spree is concerned, it lives on social media, right? Yep. And it draws on aspects of social psychology.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, when you're interacting in real time with an expert, then there's there's the trigger of you're joining a social event with other people. So it's not like just you alone in this, but you're joining events with hundreds of other people who are interested in beauty, just like you are. And I think that's inherently social.
Yeah. Not to interrupt you, but I want to unpack that a bit, a little bit more. So, because what makes that experience socially connected is the ability to not only chat with the host, but to chat with hundreds of other shoppers at the same time. And you all know as well as I do that when you see other customers or people placing orders live, you feel a little bit more confident in making that purchase because others are doing it. And I think there's a little bit of herd mentality at work there.
Yeah, because it kind of reinforces the purchase, right? Like,
well, if others are doing it, then it's okay for me to do it as well.
It's almost like peer pressure in a sense, but maybe in a good way.
I would not say peer pressure. I would say that it's fear of missing out and a little bit of herd mentality because there's that social proofing in place.
Yeah. And I think that also helps to explain like the really high conversion rates that you see for live shopping because all of these social triggers are in the mix. And we tout this number like quite a bit because I think it warrants the attention, and it's that on average our customers convert 20 times more than do traditional e-commerce through live shopping. So I don't think that's a coincidence.
No, it's absolutely not a coincidence. And what I really think is kind of the deciding factor here is that equation. In that equation, I should say, is how the algorithm on social media works to drive traffic to the live streams, because you're ticking off all the boxes, you're seeing high engagement, and it kind of creates this snowball effect because, as we talked about previously, almost for some people, you're like ad nauseum. It's like you're able to please the algo because you're using a lot of Facebook features, and they're gonna prioritize your content.
Yeah, no. I think that's super key to this conversation, and it kind of underpins the success of beauty products in e-commerce in the sense that you've got the person-to-person social proof,
right?
And then you're also getting really engaging and informative experiences. So it really reinforces how beauty customers shop. And I think really one great example of how that element of social proof can lift your business with live shopping is actually the first guest that we want to talk to today, because we're having on Anna Jacobsen, who is from Nailster. So Nailster they're a nail care brand based primarily in the Nordics, and they specialize a lot in gel polish. So they've done particularly well in terms of cultivating a strong customer community that are absolutely thrilled about live shopping. And we spoke to Anders.
You spoke to Anders.
I did, who runs the production of Nailster's live shows, and here's what he had to share with us. Anders, the first thing I want to ask you is, as a leading e-commerce nail care brand, what is it about the live shopping format that appeals to Nailster's vision and overall business strategy?
I think that the live shopping platform is like a perfect match for us because it let us bring the Nailster experience into life in a way that the static content just can't. So our brand is all about making nails fun and accessible and creative, and the live shopping platform allow us to show our products in action, and also is it possible to answer questions instantly and engage with our community in real time. So instead of customers having to guess if a product is right for them, they can see it being used and learn tips and tricks and get inspired all at the same time. It's like we're saying it's like almost having a personal nail coach at home.
As you mentioned, when you go live, do you see a lot of interactivity with the community and then the hosts about these technical details?
We have seen when we go live with, for example, we got segments like Q&As and masterclasses. The comments are just exploding because people have so many questions how to make their nail skills better. So and we also see that the customers and the viewers are actually helping each other before we can answer the questions. So if someone is answering a question, like 5 people will answer it. It's pretty amazing to see how our customers and viewers are helping each other,
Yeah.
and that is just amazing how this group we are and the community we are making is like running itself in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's amazing.
With this community that you've managed to successfully cultivate and really engage, so that definitely speaks to how customers connect to your brand. But I'm also curious, have you seen, if in any capacity, have you seen this have an impact on your sales and engagement metrics across social media and your website as well?
Yeah, a lot. But this is just like for us, this is the live beginning. Our main focus right here in the beginning has been building like this strong community, as I said, but we also are seeing these great results in terms of engagement and sales. So it drives a ton of interaction, and people love being able to ask questions before they buy. So we also see like a spike in our website traffic after the lives as viewers go check out the products that we're talking about in the lives, and have showcased or make a live offer. So sale-wise, the interactive element, it helps a lot. Um, so yeah, when customers see how a product works in our live sessions, they get like their concerns addressed live. So we feel like we feel that they feel way more confident about making a decision after seeing the live. So yeah, we can see a huge spike in our website traffic when we are holding live and also after the live shows. We also have a lot of reservations in our basket, and we are right now trying to engage with those customers after the live. So we give them reminders that they have put products in their basket when we're holding the live to get the sales afterwards, because we can see that people are not buying under the live but after the live. So they add to the basket, and then when we're done, they go and buy it. So yeah, we see a spike.
Are there any last remarks that you would like to share?
I would just say that live is still in the future pipeline for us. When I first worked with live was in the Corona period, the COVID. 7-13, we don't talk about that. But I remember that when I implemented it, that time people were like, it's not going to last, but we can only see it's going further from here. So it's a format that we just love to play with, and for a creative soul like me, I just love to keep getting ideas for these live shows and interactive things we can do with our customers. So yeah, we're just having fun with it.
That was spot on. I thought that was really good. Especially what he said. Is it Anders or is it Anders? I think here in the Nordics we say Anders, but I think for those outside of the Nordics, it's Anders.
It's Anders now.
What Anders or Anders?
That's like
You
me.
choose.
My name is Jens, but I say Jens.
I don't know.
Same thing.
I don't know. I'm gonna call you. No.
Just call me a
Can
beauty
we edit
police.
this part? No, sick. No. But what Anders said about going live to build a huge amount of trust in your expertise with things like Q&As, I thought that was really cool. And I think it's really stuff like that which builds up a strong sense of customer community, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Especially among these nail care aficionados who are specifically there, I would think, to be wild and learn something. It's like a little niche thing, right?
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. And he also hit the nail on the head, I would say, about, contextualizing all this excitement that they're able to generate from live shows and convert that into like a sales channel. So you're not just building excitement for nothing, because he's able to use the tools, as mentioned, like he mentioned in the interview, like checkout reminders and gamification. Yeah, so these elements feed into the excitement and hype you're building to generate sales ultimately, which is, you know, what we want, but providing value at the same time. So I think that's really good. And the analogy of he said specifically, it's like having a nail coach right at home, and you're just getting...
Who doesn't want their own personal nail coach?
Exactly. So, yeah.
No, I also think it's, in many ways, it's, you know, from a marketing perspective, it's content marketing in a nutshell.
Right, because you're providing something, but building the infrastructure.
Yeah, and also bear in mind that it also demonstrates, excuse me, how live shopping can work as a kind of an accelerator.
Yeah.
A DRS, if you will, Formula One reference there, of your sales and marketing efforts. So it's really, I think for me, it's all about meeting the customers where they are. And I think Nailster is really embodying that perfectly.
Yeah, no, I agree. And with Nailcare, it's obviously really helpful with demonstrations.
Yeah.
So you're able to actually teach your audience how to create specific designs.
Have you ever tried to put nail polish on?
I'll be very honest, I haven't.
I am in envy of my wife and daughter and how skillful they are, because every time I do it, I'm a mess.
I mean, they have to learn from somewhere, so I imagine this is one channel they probably use.
Precisely, yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's really, really great, and that's obviously a benefit to their whole ecosystem of being able to go live, broadcast these masterclasses.
And do this at scale as well. You also have to bear in mind they have hundreds, if not thousands, of people watching at the same time, which I think is kind of cool. Yeah,
absolutely. And you know, as we've established by now, I am the skincare aficionado here at Spree.
Yes.
Yeah, blame that on my teenage years. I dealt with some skin problems, so I had to research religiously these videos on YouTube and just go through the rabbit hole of learning stuff. And I think that whole mentality is something that's also baked into what we're talking today, because people, they go online to learn about these things, and that's how I learned personally.
They do. We have so much information available, and knowing how much you look at yourself in the mirror, Jens, I can easily imagine you completely nerding out on this stuff. I never expected a 20-something-year-old to know what the active ingredient was in anti-aging cream, but now we know. Retinol, folks.
Hey, it's the secret. It's the secret sauce.
Yeah.
No, I still, you know, have a pretty involved skincare routine for a guy, but it's paying off, man. It's paying off.
Good for you.
So what we really want to talk about is, you know, how skincare and live shopping fit together like a glove, because you've got recognized brands going live like eCooking. Yeah. We've got Beauty Pacific, Tombow, and a very special guest that we're talking with today, which is Ras Skincare.
Ras!
And what we want to talk about is how they're embracing, you know, the ability to show off products on air, but also at the same time share super valuable knowledge to their customers all about skin. So Ras Skincare, which is, it prides itself on natural ingredients and Nordic formulations, and they've done a super phenomenal job of incorporating sort of these pillars of live shopping, which is expertise and entertainment.
And there's a lot of entertainment, and also you guys know this is a brand that's created by the guy named Raz, who you'll meet in a few seconds, and it's also about putting a name, a face, and as you'll see, a personality on the brand.
Absolutely.
So this sounds really exciting. So why don't we give the stage to the man himself, Raz from Raz Skincare.
A warm welcome to you, Raz, the founder and face of the Raz Skincare brand. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much.
Oftentimes, you talk about specific skin concerns and how to treat them. So, how has that worked well within the format of live shopping for you?
I do believe that making live shopping is easy enough. I have this, you can buy it for that. And people will go and buy it if you have a good enough reason, or a price is low enough, a good enough value for money. But if you find the problem they have and solve their problem, you don't need to have a discount for shopping or selling. because you're actually helping people. I normally also say, if I should choose just one thing you should change in your daily routine to get experience of a better skin, it should be this or that. And it doesn't have to be a product. It can actually be a change of toothpaste, just to give an example. And I do believe that is the credibility people have in me, not trying to sell them something, rather just trying to help them. And in the end, yeah, they will shop whatever I ask them to shop, because they do believe that I'm there for their biggest interest. Don't think what you can do for the people, but what the people actually needs. Don't start about talking about who you are. Hi, my name is Raz. I'm the beauty expert, blah, blah, blah. No, tell them what they can have by looking in this masterclass of yours, rather it being beauty or cars or tin soldiers or whatever.
Yeah.
What can they expect? Because we are so many people asking for their time. Please give me some of your time. Please give me some of your time. So why should they attend? Because you can help them, and you are going to.
That's a really good point. And I think that really talks to the value you also provide within the context of skincare, because I think a lot of people who deal with skin problems, they want to educate themselves and learn more about how they can actually improve their skin. So being that source of information for them must be really powerful. And that's also why I think it's really interesting for your brand specifically, because you are a skincare expert and you put yourself in front of the camera. So you have a very front-facing role in both your brand and your live show. So how have your customers responded to this really kind of personal relationship you're building with them?
I do believe it's quite strong, because so few brand has a founder, and between those few brand with a face, a founder, so few of those brand actually dare to put themselves out of there. To get all the slapping, you do need to have a quite big of a knowledge about your products to do that. But if you're doing it, and be honest, sometimes I get a question online when I'm on spree, and sometimes I'm gonna get a question and I'm saying, I'm absolutely has no idea, but I will get back to you.
Yeah.
Be honest. You can't know everything from the start. Today I have 20 years of knowledge, so it's quite easy for me. But in the start, I was just like, I don't know. That's a very good question, because I'm not knowing this. I will take that question up next time I'm going live on Spree. It's going to be next Monday. Click here if you want to join.
And I think also one thing I want to mention is you have a very entertaining personality. So I think that also is one other reason that people come to see your show. So it's like this combination of both being very knowledgeable on one hand, but also quite entertaining. I think that makes for a very powerful mix there. So
try to look just of a music video or videos you find on TikTok. All of them is the one who's getting high rating is actually the one who's getting over the top. You always have to remember to give yourself 20% more when you're online, because otherwise the television, your mom, the telephone, whoever gonna steal your attention, and you don't want that. Be over the top, dress up funny, scream, do whatever you like, but remember somebody else is just standing behind you trying to get their attention. If you want it, you need to take it.
I just wanted to ask you as well, have you seen with all of these things that you've implemented into your regular live shows, have you seen this have an impact on your sales and the engagement that you're seeing on social media?
Definitely, and definitely after time, because if you're giving people some kind of entertainment, it doesn't matter if they don't buy anything the first time, because I have customers coming into my masterclass about hyperpigmentation, and they don't have hyperpigmentation. They are there for, yeah, I have no idea why, but they are there. And next time is about acne, and they don't have acne, but they don't want to miss out because they think they either like the music, like the me, like the entertainment, like whatever. And I do believe that is quite important for everybody to think about, to be entertainment. Even though I don't need a new car, I will look at a car program on Instagram or TikTok or Spree or whatever if it has a high value of entertainment.
Raz, that was the questions we wanted to ask you, and I think you gave us some really, really strong answers on how the skincare industry can really benefit from implementing some of the things that you're doing to see the success that you are. So thank you very much for coming on today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So Jens, really, really salient points once again. And man, I love this guy's energy. You can't help but really get excited when you talk to Raz.
No, I definitely felt the urge to like bump my chest a few times.
If you guys are looking for a really good example of a live where there's a ton of energy, go and check those out. We'll leave some in the footnotes a little bit later. Yeah. But to Raz's point, you really have a unique opportunity as a skincare brand to kind of position yourself as a subject matter expert in a very human, personal way. And I think that's incredibly important because also you're providing a channel for two-way communication with your audience, which you're really not able to do on your website. And even when people are in your store, it's really difficult to do that at that scale.
Right, and I think he's a great example of kind of doubling down on also his hosting capabilities, because of he has these very I would say appealing personality, in the sense that it really catches your eye, and he's showing us how that also pays dividends in terms of building an audience, people who come back all the time, and reinforcing the fact that he is a brand where he's the face of it.
Really strengthening his brand identity.
Exactly, so live shopping is really perfect for that.
And I think that applies across the board, whether you're a skincare, makeup, nail care, hair care, anything within the umbrella of health and beauty. I mean, you can always benefit from having a charismatic host who cares about, kind of what they're selling, because that will always come through the camera. And to be honest with you, that just expands, that cuts across all the products, whether it's fishing rods or steaks or clothing or back to health and beauty. Having an enthusiastic host with good personality, I think that's one of the things that keeps people captivated.
Definitely. And I think, we could talk about this till we're blue in the faces, but I think we can wrap up here and just give a quick recap.
Let's do that.
What the key takeaways are.
Yeah. So let's do that. So we've explored how the health and beauty industry is thriving in both in e-commerce and live shopping, primarily through delivering information, which is really important to customers. That's one thing. We've also unpacked how social proof and kind of a herd mentality has a really big impact on beauty shoppers, as we're seeing trends that are really strong within this industry. So the ability to see other people buying a certain product on a live show in real time encourages others to accept it as a stamp of approval, and that's the textbook definition of social proofing.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got nail care brands like Nailster who have successfully cultivated these active customer communities where they really like to interact with each other, go on the live shows to get that sense of belonging to a community of enthusiastic kind of nail care customers, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And you see that kind of turning itself into a powerful revenue generator because you're delivering value, and in turn that generates sales. And at the same time, you also have over more so in skincare with Raz, he's explained to us how, if you can position yourself as an expert who delivers really valuable information that customers are looking for and that they can apply, and you come with suitable treatments as recommendations, say within your own product line, then you're also really delivering value there, but he's also providing the entertainment aspect. And when they come together, it's like a really powerful force that just sees itself come to fruition with live shopping. So it's like that really great,
it's
great
a powerful,
combination.
powerful business model. And I just want to say thanks to those who joined, both Nelster and Raz, for participating in those interviews. And I think, Jens, you had some really good valid points. And for the beauty brands and retailers who might be wondering how live shopping could work for their businesses, their companies, their brands, we here at Spree are always very open to chat with you. And you can get in contact with us at spree.io. We have a team of experts who want to get in and understand your particular business case and help you figure out how you can get started with live shopping.
Exactly. And for those of you who might have joined kind of halfway through, you know, you don't need to worry, I should say, because we're going to send the recording to you afterwards in your email. So that was pretty much it, folks. We want to thank you all very much for watching, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Cool. Thanks, everybody.